Hello and welcome into the RotoWire Fantasy Soccer Podcast, brought to you by SoRare. Are you looking for NFTs that are both fun and have actual utility? Try SoRare, the largest NFT-based fantasy game. You can collect, trade, and compete with officially licensed digital cards of soccer players from over 160 clubs on SoRare. That's SORARE.com. I am Andrew Laird, Senior Soccer Editor of RotoWire, joined on this Monday, September 13th, by the GOAT, Luis Pacheco, to talk about some Champions League action. Luis, welcome back.
The Champions is back, finally. Yeah.
Somebody was asking me who was going to do the Champions League podcasts because obviously Jordan and Ryan have been doing the Premier League ones. And I said, you were doing it. And they said, well, at least we won't get any biased Atletico Madrid coverage for this Tuesday slate. And here you are showing it off with your jersey, of course.
Or bias about who has the highest odds. I mean, seriously, those guys like, oh, Manchester United have the highest odds. Let's play Ronaldo. Yeah, that's easy. Right?
But yes, the creator of Cash with Flair is back to talk about this 6-game slate, which I feel like the early Champions League slates always have a bit of a knowledge gap because there's some teams that obviously we don't follow a lot. There are a couple on this slate where we don't have a lot of stats for them, at least readily available. So it kind of goes back to the olden days of like when knowledge was actually an edge. And I think that's a big reason why we have you on these podcasts, because you can help bridge that gap for us.
No, I agree. I think there is pricing seems soft for Chelsea in general. I feel, you can build more or less whatever lineup you want. Key is going to be forward is a little bit murky, I feel. And if whether you want to play Juan Cuadrado if he starts. So that's for me. I mean, I did my research, and that feels the main problem, right? Because when we get there, we get there. But Juan Cuadrado is a defender of 9,000, almost 9,000. It's if Dybala starts, he doesn't have monopoly of set pieces, but it's a plum matchup, and Juventus have problems scoring, so he might cross a lot. But 9,000, that's Messi's salaries, right? So,
let me pull up our cheat sheet here. So those of you who are watching on YouTube at least can see this, but for those listening, it's just our regular cheat sheet. But obviously, our Champions League, all of our cheat sheets include kind of league stats that have been accumulated. And since this is the first game week of the Champions League this season, we pretty much just are working on the odds with the cheat sheet. We have the domestic stats of all these teams, at least the ones from the Big Five, which is a lot of the ones on this slate. And I think the ones that don't, I think we're mostly avoiding. But anyway, we have Chelsea, huge favorites at home against Zenit. We've got Juventus, a pretty big favorite away to Malmo. Bayern are favored away to Barcelona in the match with the highest total. And then I think we have the two games that I'm guessing a lot of people avoid, even though I think there are some players we might be able to sneak in there. Benfica favored away to Dynamo Kiev, and Villarreal favored slightly at home against Atalanta. So Chelsea, obviously huge favorites. I assume most people go there. Everyone played last weekend, so I guess we could see some rotation. All of these games are kicking off at the same time. So do you think we just see a bunch of Chelsea stacks?
I will say, well, I feel that, you're going to see a lot of ownership in the fullbacks or the wing backs, right? Yeah. I mean, whether Reece James, hopefully, if he's Callum Hudson-Odoi, maybe it's a little bit lower. But if they're both defenders, Reece James, Marcos Alonso, or Ben Chilwell, it's going to be pretty high. Prices are low compared to their odds. Personally, I feel the odds are pretty high. Yeah, I think Zenit St. Petersburg is much better team than the odds of a Minio. I mean, like, probably much better than Newcastle, and I don't think Newcastle will get that bad of odds. But another thing that we got for Chelsea, not with Lukaku, it's a little bit different, but Chelsea doesn't score as many goals. I mean, they are hard to score on, but it's not. I mean, and you see that in the total, one of the lowest totals, I think. I mean, for the odds, right? Like, you have a big favorite with very low odds, so So I think
Yeah.
you're going to see a lot of the fullbacks, the wingbacks, and then Lukaku is the most expensive player. Hit or miss, forward is complicated. I'm not sure if I can play him, but you could. You had to sacrifice somewhere else if you want to play Cuadrado, obviously. And Kai Harbers is, I personally don't like him for cash, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a number of different variations in terms of cash lineups, and GPPs obviously in Champions League can go all over the place because these are usually higher scoring slates than we have for Premier League. So, like you said, Lukaku has the highest anytime goal scorer odds. He's also the most expensive. I think there are plenty of guys you can play instead of him if you're looking for floor. Obviously, the ceiling is really high, but even ceiling-wise, like we've got this Bayern Barcelona match. Like we have huge players in this game, and obviously we have Memphis Depay is going to be the primary one that everybody thinks of when they go to Barcelona. And then Bayern Munich, at least for goals, is Lewandowski.
Yeah.
If they're both cheaper than Lukaku, and obviously their team totals aren't quite as high, but I feel like to save $1,000, I think most people end up probably with Memphis and I guess Dybala if he starts because Juventus are such big favorites.
Yeah, I would say, probably for, cash or save, we would say Dybala probably the first one in if he starts. In my opinion, Malmo is probably the weakest team on the slate to me.
Sure.
And Dybala comes, he comes with a decent floor. It's not a bad trip there. I mean, he didn't play this weekend because of the international week. So and Dybala have a share of set pieces. So I think Dybala is a good play, especially if Morata start, because Morata is more like a forward and is in the box and gets crosses, right? So Dybala very good for the price and being a forward. I don't like everybody else, just say, hey, it's Depay, but Depay against Bayern Munich. I mean, Barcelona. This is Barcelona without Messi. I mean, Bayern Munich already with Messi put like 5 goals the last time they played, right? So, but on the other hand, it's like Gnabry got injured this weekend. Musiala is a good player, but Musiala against Barcelona team that is gonna be better defensively. So I don't know. I think for Lukaku or Lewandowski, it feels that Lewandowski might be even better for the price. For me, Depay is kind of like the centerpiece now of Barcelona attack. But you want to play Depay at 9,000, I think he is, right? Like, let me see how much is Depay.
1099.
999. So 99, being underdog. I mean, in that case, I think, well, if you can put Lukaku and Lewandowski, if you probably can do it, that's not bad. I think of the expensive guys, Dybala is great, and let's see who is on the other side of the win from Juventus. I saw Bernardeschi. I'm not sure he's going to be there. It might be Kulusevski, which is a decent price, but he's not a forward. So, and then so that's what I'm thinking. I mean, then it's like a matter of like choosing your own poison to die. It's like, you want Kai Harbers, you want Morata, or you want I mean, those are the expensive guys, right? I know I didn't put anyone else that was expensive. Where you were mentioning before, then we got to the next tier. For me, like I think Benfica is a very good team. But the problem I have with Benfica is that they have a big squad. And like Atletico Madrid, having a big squad is good for the team and the manager, but it's not good for fantasy, because if something doesn't work, you had the 5 substitutions that you get guys that play no more than 40, 50, and 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And Benfica have a lot of options at forward. I mean, the main one as the central forward, Roman Yaremchuk. I think that's the way you said. Ex-Dinamo Yaremchuk. All right, well, Yaremchuk is, police.
I have no standing to call somebody out on it, though.
I don't know. I mean, I'll do the best I can. I read it the same as you do, I guess. So Roman Yaremchuk, ex-Dinamo Kiev guy, so coming home after leaving some money, so revenge game, right? Prodigal son coming home. Not a bad price for the odds. Dinamo Kiev is just, a team for a smaller league. So I like him. I also would like to see if Everton or Darwin Núñez start those prices are decent. 5.8 and 6.3 for Benfica away, winger, some floor, and both of them, it depends if PC start or not. That's the problem. Benfica is a little bit of a cluster.
Yeah.
I don't even know where they are going to play. I mean, I'm expecting seeing Darwin Nunez and Everton on one side, Jaremchuk in the middle, but then I don't know if it's going to be Pizzi or not. It's going to be, Joe Mario, Grimaldo, things like that. So, but for the salaries are not bad. What else?
Rafa's a bit expensive.
Yeah, Rafa is 8,000, right? Yeah. It's I mean, to play Rafa, I'd rather spend a little bit more or forward. Then you have. I mean, I'm interested on the Wolfsburg starters, the forwards, especially if Lucas and Mecha star for 5,000, because he's a winger. He has a certain floor. They have the ex Benfica guy like Gianluca Waldschmidt, right? Too. And I don't know if he's going to play this Maximilian Philip that have some set pieces, but he seems like a Maximilian Philip and Arnold. Both of them seems like a low floor, and especially where they're both sharing. So, for winning in Champions League, you need a decent floor or you need a goal. So, I feel that a Mecha for the price is good if you want to feed Cuadrado or you want to feed, I don't know, maybe Kimmich and Mount. But overall, that's all I like. I mean, there is a Boulaye Dia for 4,000, but Villarreal at home. Villarreal very conservative, but remember that Atalanta is a team that is an attacks and then asks questions. So, it's a team that receives a goal, concedes a lot of goals. You have a guy that is fast and it's going to be feed by hopefully Parejo. So, I mean, as good as a pawn if you do. I mean, I think that, if you want to be safe, Dybala, Lukaku, Lewandowski, and then figure out the rest. But, it depends on salary.
Yeah. So I think there were 2 or 3 guys that you didn't mention that I wanted to bring up. The first, I'm going to steal right from Ryan's Belangi's article, was Leroy Sané. Do you think that, because he's only 6,300, and obviously Gnabry's out, and I mean Bayern's still pretty deep anyway. But like, I don't think I can play Sané in cash only because his floor is like annoyingly low. But if you just was like, oh, he's a winger on the 3rd biggest favorite in the game with the highest total, that part at least makes sense to me. What do you think about Sané?
I don't mind Sané. I like the salary. I feel for the price, I'd rather go to Benfica. But I do like Sané. I mean, what's my point with Sané? As you said, is that in Bayern Munich the floor is low. He's a waving winger. He's not a crossing winger. So he's not Andrews Townsend. So he's a guy that is going to try to get in and try to cut inside and try to get a shot. And obviously it's I mean, I don't know. It feels like a hit or miss to me. I mean, I wish I have a better floor, but for 6,000, I don't know. I mean, it's as good as ever at anyone else, maybe you get Danjuma. I don't know how much is Danjuma, or Danjuma. I don't know how to say
Danjuma,
it. But yeah.
So the other guy I wanted to bring up, it's really 2 of them, and we're talking about how big of a favorite Chelsea is. Like, if we get Callum Hudson-Odoi starting presumably in Reece James's spot as the right wing back, do you think he is worth playing in a forward spot? I mean, actually playing anywhere, but if Werner starts instead of Lukaku, or starts with Lukaku, I mean, Werner is 7,200. That seems, just given the odds, and you obviously thought, you said that you thought the odds were a little harsh on Zenit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think about either Cho or Timo Werner?
I don't mind Cho as much because he has a floor.
Mm-hmm.
Timo Werner, I mean, for the price, is not bad. It is an option. It's like Kai Havertz. I mean, it's going to be Werner or Havertz, right? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to play both of them. So, if you want to do a Chelsea stack, be my guess. I won't do it. I feel that at that price, you can rather go somewhere else.
Okay.
But I don't know how much is Hudson-Odoi. You have the prices there, right?
Yeah, he is 6,100.
Yeah, no, Hudson-Odoi will be fantastic. Yeah, 6.1 probably will be favorite forward besides Bernardeschi is a star. So
yeah, I think you could even get away with playing Hudson-Odoi as a midfielder if he starts. Just
absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Now for 6,000, that's not a bad price. That's a little bit more than Danny Parejo, which is
right.
is pretty good. So yeah, it's I agree with you. I mean, I'm just I mean, if we know something about Tuchel, is he's going to play his best 11, and best 11 is not with Odoi, but in fact, I won't be surprised he gets a Spilicueta in the win for something, because he's very conservative, so especially in Champions League when he wants to win. So
sure, no, that makes sense. So yeah, I think most people end up paying up for two forwards. I don't see anyone paying down at two of them. I wouldn't even know who you would play.
Yeah,
but it seems like you're just so far behind doing that. Like Hudson-Odoi is probably the cheapest one forward.
Yeah,
the way I'd go, and we don't even expect him to start. I've given up on playing Thomas Mueller ever, actually. But 6,900, you could do worse, I guess.
You can play Pedri.
Yep.
Hey, at least Pedri have a couple of set pieces, right? I mean, I won't play any of them. I think that, Mueller is kind of like he might get you an assist, he might score a goal, but if you're gonna play Mueller, go with Sané.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna, for his salary, I'd rather play Everton. I think would be better for me. Even Zapata, things like someone that I know is gonna be more involved as a centerpiece of the team than Mueller, which is fantastic player, but for the price, and let's say even their favorites at Barcelona. So it's not Barcelona hasn't lost in the Camp Nou forever. I don't remember the last time. So let's just keep it that way for now. So.
Okay. So the midfield spots, we obviously have the two like big names I think people would look at were Mason Mount and Joshua Kimmich.
Yeah.
Just kind of the case anytime. Pizzi is obviously in the middle of them salary-wise. I don't see Ziyech starting, but at that price I probably don't play him. But where do you fall with the midfield? Like, do you think we can pay up for midfielders here?
I won. I feel Kimmich is a little bit pricey.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason Mount the same. Mason Mount is a little bit of. Chelsea's a little bit complicated for me for the set pieces, right? So it's just Mason Mount takes them sometime, but sometimes he doesn't, and you don't know when is that going to happen. Apparently, I guess they have some place for each one of them. So I think for Mount's salary at 8.8, it's just rather play Cuadrado, right? So. I just feel that you gotta go midfield. You have the possibility of go a little bit cheaper and find some decent floors, right? Like for example, I'd rather play Malinowski as your star at 6.8 than Mason Mount at 8.8.
Yeah.
I think Parejo at 5.6, or if he doesn't start, Manu Trigueros at 4.5 is not a bad play. Again, Villarreal at home, Champions League. Somebody has to take those set pieces when they are behind the score, when Atalanta scores, or when Atalanta goes, ahead, or behind. So I think that those guys I like it better. I would play Kulusevski if he starts. I think Kulusevski at 5.3 is somebody decent. Let's see what else. I think Maximilian Arnold is a little bit expensive.
Yeah, me too.
I love Yusuf Yazici. For me, probably first guy in the lineup. He stars.
Wow.
Yeah, no doubt. No
you
doubt.
Do love that guy.
You have biases when you see something like that. Like he's probably gonna have all the set pieces, And I remember Jasisi against Bayer Leverkusen, which is a better team than Wolfsburg somehow. I mean, he put like 2-3 goals. It was an amazing in the UEFA Europa League. I think it was Leverkusen. I don't remember. I remember it was a German team. I remember I lost a lot of money that day, but because I didn't have him. But I think Jasisi at 6,000. I mean, we know Lille has a new coach now. I forgot the name of the coach. It's not the same as a Gaultier, but Lille's still a decent team. So, I'm Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg is okay. So, team at home, 6,000 Monopoly set piece guy with some upside. He plays a second forward. I mean, I like him as 6,000. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. Before I forget, because we're going to skip over him, but you mentioned Danny Parejo. Yeah. Do you have any concern that he doesn't play enough? Like he hasn't really played yet and he's coming back from injury. If he starts, is there like a minutes concern that you'd have?
No, I mean, it will depend on game flow, but if the match is close, if he starts, he plays. So.
Okay.
And there are very few people that can do what he does in the team. So, I feel as he starts, he plays, and they're probably keeping him for this match. So
that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, you just.
And also for 5.6, I mean, Parejo is a hit or miss, because he plays very low in the field. So if Villarreal doesn't need to attack, he won't. He will maybe get like those long passes to the forwards, but there's no set pieces. His value like suffers. But for 5.6 at home, you can take some you can take some gambles there, especially for if there's no one else to play, right? Like I feel there's not many midfielders that are cheap that you want to play besides Jasisi, Parejo, Malinowski, Kulusevski. But again, we're just speculating, right? So
yeah. Do you have any consideration for like the cheaper defensive midfielders from Chelsea, Juventus, or Bayern, like the Bentancurs, Locatelli, Kovacic, Goretzka, like those types of players that like you don't really ever want to play, but sometimes they just fit?
If they fit, yeah. I mean, I don't have the salaries here because the wind are just killing me. But if Goretzka, how much is Goretzka?
5,100. Yeah, so he's 51. Locatelli's 52.
Yeah, I can see Locatelli, absolutely. He stars, obviously. I can totally see those guys. Kulusevski, obviously. I mean, all those guys are a gamble, right? I feel that, maybe Angel Gomez from Lille is not a bad play either. You play to win. If Goretzka scores a goal, you're probably closer to win. If Goretzka does not score a goal, you're probably not going to win anything. Right. But is it true? I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, I understand that Bayern is being a machine for long, and I understand that they all produce. But one thing is, first match away in Champions League, new coach, and it's Barcelona. So it's just, Barcelona have a good midfielder can control the match, and I don't know. I just feel like paying for Goretzka when you have a guy then, like Locatelli that might have a better matchup. Well, why not just go to Locatelli? And I probably believe that, But it's up to you. It's up to you. Everyone's doing the lineups. If you go super high on forward, you might have to compromise somewhere. So I think better compromise on defenders if you don't play Cuadrado, obviously. That's a big if for me. So
yeah. Is it a Sergio Busquets slate?
No.
All right, just checking.
No, hey, it can be. I was looking for Carlos de Pena or de Peña. I don't know, the Kiev sex-piece taker. Dinamo Kiev is at home, but for some reason their players are expensive, so it's been hard for me to consider them. Like Shigankov is a guy that I always like, a good player, but a 6,000 is hard to feed, or the Pena is a 5.4. Yeah. So those guys are hard to feed, and then Maximilian Arnold is 7, so it's just hard to feed. So those guys for me are not in my any of my stacks. I mean, as you say, I'd rather stack Goretzka or stack Chelsea. Jorginho might get a PK. I don't even know if he's going to take them because Lukaku now is there. But at the end, it's always Jorginho ends up taking the PK.
So who's the cheapest one that you considered midfielder?
My cheapest midfielder, well, I think for me it's going to be the ones that I know they're going to play. Probably, I mean, Dani Parejo, I think. I mean, I would like to say Trigueros if Parejo doesn't start, because Trigueros has some set pieces, but that's 4.5, a very low, very terrifying floor. So maybe with set pieces. So. I don't know, which one do you like? Do you like anyone?
No, and that's the problem.
That I don't like much.
Really,
so,
I think it really makes you like the fact that I gave like a long, hard look to Kovacic or Jorginho just was like I usually end up with guys like Rabiot if he starts, or Bentancur, and they're like 2,000 more than I usually play them. Like I'll play them at 3,300, but 5,300 or 52, whatever they were, like that's just a range I can't justify. And so
exactly. I'm the only one I'm just looking that he hopefully does really bad is Wendell. Because Wendell is a very good player, and he takes a bunch of set pieces and he produces a lot. But against Chelsea, I seen better teams than Zenit having 0 shot on targets on Chelsea, Man City, Atletico. So it's just hard to go to Stamford Bridge and ask for offensive output for the opponent. So
it seems highly unlikely he starts, but I'm going to have to ask you about him anyway because of your shirt. What if Saul starts?
No, it was terrible this weekend. It was terrible. No, I think Tuchel said that he took Saul out at halftime so his confidence doesn't shatter more. I feel really bad because he's my boy, but he lost like 9 on 10 balls. He wasn't match ready, and I'm glad that Tuchel recognized that.
Okay, that's fair. Before we jump into defenders, do you love sports collectibles or fantasy sports? You probably do if you're watching this podcast or listening. SoRare is blending them together to create an entirely new gaming experience. SoRare cards are officially licensed NFTs from over 160 clubs, including Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, and Liverpool. 3 clubs we'll be talking about this week, although tomorrow, and built on Ethereum. You truly own your collectibles, and you can use them to win rewards, such as new cards or additional ETH. Join SoRare and connect with your favorite teams, live the game with passion, and earn weekly prizes. So you've mentioned Juan Cuadrado like 10 times, which makes me feel like you're going to actually pay the highest price I've ever seen for a defender. Like you want to. You obviously want to.
It's a sad proposition. Yeah. It's it's the perfect environment. The minnows at home, Juventus with a striker like Morata that can barely score a goal, and so you can see in a scenario that maybe Malmo scores a goal in a counter, and then it's Juventus powering crosses like they did against Porto, or I remember Cuadrado have a game with like 35 crosses, something like that. I remember that. It was like a record in Champions League. So you have a guy that if the game goes according to script, Juventus struggling to score, they have the target man center forward. They have no one to score a goal because, let's be frank. I mean, after Ronaldo left, it's like, who is the goal scorer here? I mean, Dybala always good player, but Dybala is not a prolific goal scorer. Yeah. Morata, well, we know what Morata is, and it's a decent center striker, but he misses a lot. And then Bernardeschi, I don't know, Kulusevski, Ramsey. So there's not a goal scorer to say, oh, well, Juventus is going to score 2 goals and then they're going to go back down. And so very good flow for him. But, God, I mean, like 8,700 per salary is just a lot of salary if he doesn't get you 20 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, does he have 20 points in him? Yes, maybe, but he's just coming for a long trip, playing 3 matches. Latin America, and you're gonna put it in. There's Dybala as well if he starts, and so set piece sharing. Is Juventus go to a back 4? I mean, he's like a full back, so he's not that much attacking output. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I think like a most cash lineups will have the Chelsea guys and Cuadrado. But if you want to put some flair, maybe you can trade him down for someone. Use that money to get another forward, another guy that you like. So
it was 33 crosses against Porto, but it was 120 minutes. Oh. So in 90, he probably only had 25 crosses.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I felt like there were more than enough defenders to play that made me hesitate. Like, I'm not sure if Cuadrado was a midfielder, I would have played him at 8,700. Like, I think I'd probably look at Mount first or even Kimmich. I don't know. It's just such an absurd sticker cost. And what's funny is that Cuadrado has the benefit of having the clean sheet bonus if they hold them out. But in an ideal setting, you want them to actually go down. Like, you want them to concede so that he turns into this absolute cross
machine.
Monster. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a little bit of a
cross duado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll see plenty of people. Like, if it's Alonso and James at wing back for Chelsea, I think people play both.
Yeah.
The list of guys you can play is not short. Like, Grimaldo, I think, is a perfectly good play. He's a little expensive at 59 if you just get the Chelsea guys, but the Atalanta ones aren't so bad.
Agree.
Jordi Alba always does something because I never play him. I feel like every slate he's on some GPP winning lineup, and it's like, nope, I wasn't going to play him again, and there he is again, getting another assist.
Yeah, I like. I always say the same guys, but I think, as you mentioned, right? Like, if they're going to be either Cuadrado or not, and there are options. I mean, and you can go to the expensive option. I think Grimaldo is expensive, but is decent at that price, especially if he doesn't start. He have a bigger chance of taking set pieces. I like a lot. Alberto Moreno is your star, a 4.2. He takes a share of set pieces as well. Let's say Parejo is not in, Alberto Moreno is in, 4.2. He also plays sometimes not as a fullback, but as the wing back, like the double fullback,
Yep.
Unai Emery he's a conservative guy, so he's gonna play a double fullback, but he have a for 4.2, a guy that can give you 7-8 points. Like, that's like Cuadrado giving you 18. So if you and then you can use the 4.7 savings for going to have a Lukaku, Lewandowski, Dybala striker. If you want to go win a GPP, right? If they score, you win. If not, well, you try. I also like. I mean, it's not as much, but I seen Reinildo and Zeki Zelic, the little fullbacks at 4 and 3.7 are. They're okay. I mean, the upside might be capped, but for 3.7, a guy that can also get to some points. And then if you really want to go super high elsewhere, you can play Juan Foyt for 2.something, 2.1. Don't remember.
That sounds too cheap. 2 point.
Yeah, it's the 2 point. Yeah, I don't see 2.5 probably. I mean, I guess I don't remember any players under 2.5. So for the minimum, Juan Foyt, he plays fullback. Remember he's a center back. Gonna play fullback against a team that attacks a lot. But 5 points give you value, and you can use the savings elsewhere. So
you think this is where people pay down? Other than possibly Cuadrado.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't go Cuadrado, pay down and get get someone that gives you value, that you think is going to give you value. Then pay them up front, or get a big forward. And I guess I don't know on the utility. I mean, well, no, you cannot get a utility, but you organize your line also the midfielder forwards to play somewhere. So
yeah, the event like Chiellini's 2,700. Yeah. If you really want to just hope for a clean sheet, he's not going to do anything. But
always like Chiellini, especially with Italy, they go forward and they go for corners. So he used to take some penalty kicks, I think. So not anymore, I guess. But I don't know who's taking penalties now.
I don't know who's taking penalties now.
It might be Chiellini, right?
I can't imagine. Really, I mean,
I don't know who it's going to be, but I would say maybe Dybala, but I think hey guys, do some research there. Maybe Chiellini is your boy for cheap guy.
That would be. I'm trying to look it up right now. If anybody took one last year, other than Ronaldo, because that would be absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Do you think Cuadrado is actually like the most popular defender even at that price?
No, it was going to be Alonso or James or Chilwell. Okay. One of those 2, 3. Probably the 2 Chelsea guys should be the most popular. I mean, the price seems a little bit low, if you ask me. I was expecting to see both of them in the 6 to 7, and they are under 6.
So Juventus had 10 penalties in Serie A play last year. Ronaldo took 9, Morata took 1, and Cuadrado took 1.
Ooh, look at that! Look at that! Might be our boy Cuadrado. He might cross it to the corner. Let's just. Oh man!
8,700 for a defender that.
I think not even TAA, right?
That's what I was going to say. It's not TAA. It's not, back when Kimmich was a defender. It's Juan Cuadrado, which
and they're not playing Malta or Liechtenstein. So
yeah, and it's not a short trip. I mean, it's not long, but Southern Europe to Northern Europe is not nothing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Like going from New Jersey to Virginia, I guess. I don't know.
It's probably
more than that. New Jersey to Georgia, probably.
Yeah, it's probably more than that.
Even the Russian trip, I think the Russian trip's like 3 hours because it's on the coast.
Yeah, it's Western Russia.
Russia. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember trying to fake a map last season where it was like the trip from London, or no, it was one of the Portuguese teams to. Maybe it was Ukraine even.
Yeah. And
everyone's like, man, that's really far. And it's like, it's
not that far.
Compared to U.S. travel, it's not that far at all. Obviously, you would prefer less travel, but it's not. None of these trips are that far. So
obviously, those matches like Munich against Leipzig, Munich against Salzburg, like it's across the street. So.
Yeah, they walk. Yeah. Do you think there's a popular goalie?
To me, the Malmo goalie is going to be popular. I feel that maybe the Dynamo Kiev goalie will be popular.
That's who I think is the most popular one because he's not facing Chelsea or Juve.
Yeah, I think Senegal goalie is asking for trouble. I mean, Chelsea is not a prolific shooter. So
yeah,
I mean Chelsea is the new Atletico, I guess. We're better corner kids, but hey, defensively they are better than Atletico when they were the best. So anyhow, so I think.
But you think Salah will be more comfortable, but I guess not. Not yet.
Well, not yet.
Do you?
Yeah, we'll talk about Atletico tomorrow, my lord.
Yeah.
Can't play anyone. They are like 100 players. Can't play anyone. They'll play 20 minutes. So anyhow, but I think. The way I see it, Juventus not a prolific goal scorer. They need to shoot a lot. I feel Malmo is probably the cheaper home goalie. I think. Looking at the odds, I haven't looked at the salaries, but the cheaper home goalie probably is the Malmo goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's 3,800.
Yeah, so 3,800 is like. So and the Zenit one is 37. I don't think their goal is under 35. So.
The Zenit guy's 35.
All right, so yeah.
Kurzakov, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, those 300 doesn't take you much, and I think Malmo might be better. I mean, I think it's going to be. I mean, as I say, it's not much leeway for a goalkeeper considering again the Cuadrado conundrum.
Right.
But usually cheapest goalkeepers wins. And then when who we play is going to be the one that gets -10, and the one we don't is going to get +10. So to win the slate because that's what we do. But I think if you ask me for someone else, feels the Atalanta goalkeeper Juan Musso might not be a bad choice. Neuer, how much is Neuer?
I was going to say I actually think. Neuer is 5,200, but Ter Stegen is only 44. Like
Okay.
Bayern like to shoot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
They're
true.
home.
Hey,
You just told me they haven't lost in 100 years at home.
hey, that's my boy too. I like Ter Stegen too. I know Bayern is scary. I'm Barcelona is like unknown, but you know I like what Koeman is doing. I mean, the last time Barcelona played well. They have a decent team. I mean, I think now without Messi, maybe they have to all collectively collaborate and defend a little bit better. So you know, Ter Stegen is not bad for shoots and everything. I wouldn't mind them at all. How much is who's the Benfica guy, the Greek guy, the Black Odimos, right? So
Yeah.
40 something. I mean, anything under 40,
53.
No. No, I guess it's, yeah, I like it. I like Ter Stegen, Malmo guy. Play wherever you want as a 10.
I feel like Benfica don't shoot enough for the Kiev guy to work out.
I agree. Especially away from home, conservative, right. Like conservative. So
yeah. All right. We miss anyone? This Cuadrado thing is going to really.
Cuadrado is a problem. Got to square the lineup. So.
Yeah, that's a problem. All right. If anybody has any follow-up questions for Luis, you can find him on Twitter at Pacheco. You can find me at RotoWire Andrew. We're also available in the RotoWire Discord, which is open for all subscribers. Just go to rotowire.com/chat to join. If you would like to get some more of these, some more Champions League coverage, you can become a subscriber to RotoWire or try us out for free for 10 days. Just go to rotowire.com/soccer trial. Like I said, 10 free days to the site, no credit card required. Actually gets you access to the entire site, not just our soccer stuff. So you can take advantage of NFL if you're playing that as well. If you are watching this on YouTube, if you could please hit the like button below and definitely feel free to subscribe to the channel so you can get all of our Champions League content along with the regular Premier League stuff and all the So Rare Andrews podcasts. If you're listening to the audio version, if you could please rate and review it wherever you listen, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you to So Rare for sponsoring this podcast. Luis, thank you for coming on, and good luck tomorrow.
Good luck to you.